Well, hey everybody, Mac here, and along with my buddy Tim, we want to welcome you all to the autumn of 2024, which is the time of the metal element. As we talk about our topic today, which is going to be about autumn metal and some interesting things in terms of the body and recovery, we are going to potentially mention some Sunrider foods. So I just want to remind everybody that none of the information provided in this presentation is intended to represent a diagnosis or cure of any illness or disease. Now, Tim, I've been practicing the martial arts for, gosh, 25 years now, I think, and have gone through a number of injuries during that period of time. And I've been so thankful about my body's ability to recover and heal. And I know that you've gone through something very similar recently in terms of playing tennis and a shoulder injury that you suffered and have actually helped yourself non-surgically. So can you tell us a little bit about that and what's been going on in your life?
I'll do my best. And I know you've got that experience in martial arts, and it's nice to know that there's somebody else to chat with who's gone through an experience similarly of recovering from injury. And it's hit us all who've all gone the athletic path, so to speak, or made it a lifestyle. And that's what we've done. It's just fun to get out and move. And speaking of moving, there's a little quote from Jim Quick I want to throw at you, but so it happened. It happened. I mean, I went into it. I met these guys and we're playing 5 days a week, and it's like training when you're doing it daily. And so I could feel my body going through, its first steps, and then it culminated into me after about a month and a little bit of playing, and was going really well. But all of a sudden, my shoulder, forehand or backhand, felt so acutely painful, like it felt like somebody sticking a knife in there, and I had to back off. And I took 17 days, so 2.5 weeks off. And normally when you hurt your rotator, all those muscles in your rotator cuff,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it tends to take a lot longer. And I know of people who've hurt all the musculature around, just muscles that hold your shoulder in there. Like there's nothing hanging on other than muscles and tendons. And other people that I know of have taken up to a year to recover from that. Well, I was 2.5 weeks and I was back on the court, and I was a little bit sketchy. I didn't know I should be doing it, but I just gave it a go. And one thing that injury does is it helps you to do things better mechanically. Like I want to have a better mechanical action through a forehand and a backhand in my position, and being ready, and not, being ready before the ball gets there. Being ready before, like in skiing, it's being ready before that big bump that's in front of you. You've already skied it in your mind. So it's kind of like that. Anyway, but the first initial thought was I was scared. Like, oh my God, what have I done? I've got to earn a
Here.
living. And that so it definitely sprung up some doubt, like how am I going to recover from this? But what's interesting is because of our history of martial arts,
Mhm.
maybe not as extensive as you, Mac, but I've participated in martial arts since 1987, really consistently. Um, and there's always a routine to go through when you hurt yourself. And I got a little bit of a recipe here of some things that really help. And first and foremost, it's the three B's. And this is where I'm going to come back to Jim Quick. Is you got to keep moving. And when the body moves, the brain grooves, and it gets things going on. And since it is the metal element time right now, large intestine happens to be the master organ of your brain.
Yes.
So keep that large intestine happy. Keep your Papadopoulos going. Anyway, so these are just some of the things that I did consistently, and these are things I do anyway to maintain. But I was just maintaining. I wasn't taking it to the next level. I was doing good, and I was walking I was walking 30, 40K a week, and
Mhm.
doing lots of doing consistent unwinding or yoga and Tai Chi. But I needed to take it to the next level when this happened. And so I just really took it to the next level and make sure it's consistent. And I was doing these trainings a couple times a week, a couple times a day. To clear the fear and doubt, you get on to the three B's. And one of the three B's is breath, belief, and it makes me better.
There you go.
So, and that also, and it creates a state of momentum, and it's a momentum in mind. Remembering that the neurochemicals that you're making when you're stressed or fearful is cortisol. It's a fight or flight response that goes to the body, and your body shuts down um, your immunity, and killer T cells stop being produced for that moment, so you can run from that tiger or whatever. But you don't want to be doing that every day because it's a little bit tough on us. So to remove the fear and doubt, get right to your breath right away. And breath. I like to define breath as love, and breath. Without the next one, you don't last very long. And I take it through. I do some full body breathing, which is important, and I do it through all of this. And what's interesting, and I think important, is that I noticed a difference when I have my head and heart in gratitude through the whole process. Whenever I'm doing my forms, yoga, tai chi, qigong, kung fu, or isometrics, is just a state of gratitude. If any thought goes to the pain, it's like, oh man, this hurts. It's like, no, thank you for that message. I'm honoring that message. And when you do, it's amazing. You can feel the subtle ease start to come through that almost immediately. Like your body knows, and your hypothalamus is putting out a better hormone, not cortisol, but maybe serotonin, dopamine, maybe even oxytocin. There's been times where I've been brought to tears because I realize how grateful I am to be here to do this. When you're in a state of gratitude, the body just starts naturally feeling better and recovering the way it's designed to. We're all here. We're all here because of regeneration, and part of this is recognizing that our body is designed, or who, or what, or where, or why. Our body is designed to regenerate itself. And when we put our emphasis on that and our belief on that, it does just that. So I did Tai Chi, of course, long form, long form, Yang style Tai Chi, 108 moves, twice a day. Qigong, and there's a few forms of just holding them. They're isometric positions and you're breathing through all this and going, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's
How to
kind of fun. It
breathe.
even gets me laughing, sometimes laughing, crying. It's anything but complaining and having doubt, which is good. Yoga was instrumental too, because there's a few positions in yoga that I just can't get to in Tai Chi and Qigong that would take you a little bit further. But the nice thing about yoga and that same mindset is to meet the pain, not to try to go through the pain. Just meet the pain and be with it, and not judge it. Just be with it for a while and breathe and listen, like you're listening to the dashboard on your car. You're like, what's it trying to tell me, so that I'm getting all the information I need to give myself what I need.
Mhm.
Meditation, of course, 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes a day minimum, sometimes twice a day, most of the time twice a day. But if I didn't hit twice, it's once a day. And if that once a day is first thing in the morning,
Excellent.
for sure. Let's see. And of course, what's really important, I made sure, because I tend to be a bit of a night hawk, I made sure to get 7, 8 hours of sleep. Definitely. So it's getting the rack early, which was really good. And of course, whatever thought comes up during the day, not only through my workouts, is having gratitude in my thought. If I catch myself, and we're not perfect, we're human, but I catch myself going into a complaint, maybe a complaining mode, or a
Mhm.
why, well, who, they shouldn't have done that mode. It's like, no, 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 change that. That feels bad for a good reason. And I'm not designed to think that. I want to think something better. And it's like, and so I put gratitude. Thank you for that message. Thanks for showing me what I want or what I don't want. And I love both of them because they both put me in a vector, as Buckminster Fuller would say, a vector with force in a direction that you want.
Love it. Love it.
Okay, and that's pretty much it. I just kept on doing it over and over again, and I'm feeling stronger even now. Like I just finished the session, and what's really important is I've been doing my cool down sessions, doing yoga and Tai Chi. I do a full form right after I'm done,
Mhm.
and even if I'm hurt and tired, whatever, I do it anyway, and that's made all the difference in the world. And it gets me moving forward and wanting to create the next thing. There you
Absolutely.
go. That's
Tim, just listening to you speak, a couple of things came to my mind. First of all, your comments about pain and being with it. Again, I reference back to my wife a lot of times because she is so brilliant, but she does always remind me
enjoy it.
and embrace the pain, embrace it. And in that you can deal with it. And I can't tell you how thrilled I am to hear that through these practices, you've been actually able to heal yourself. And we'll talk about some of the foods and the other things in a minute. But, I've got to say that it is just so good to hear that because there's somebody in my family that recently went through shoulder surgery because of their rotator cuff. And Tim, it's been the worst thing he's ever gone through. He is still suffering months later and is now wishing he would have taken a different approach. So again, I'm thrilled that you've had the results that you've had, which is absolutely fabulous. And you mentioned meditation is one of the things that you use too. And one of the things about the autumn and the metal element is, again, that whole idea of self-care and kind of slowing it down and taking it easy. And meditation is one of the things that they talk about all the time that can really help us to get in that proper state of mind to really kind of deal with what's going on the day to day. So, with that said, let's move on. I know that
Sure.
food has been a big part of this journey for you as well. Can you talk to us a little bit about how diet has played a part in your journey here of recovery and regeneration?
Surely, I would love to. Um, I had the advantage of going vegan. I'm not vegan anymore, but I went vegan for 25, almost 25 years.
Right on.
Um, from the time I was 26, 27 years old. And what it did is it was more of an experiment just to see how I'd feel. I wasn't thinking about anything else, but it woke up so many things. And so I've stayed closer to a vegan lifestyle. I eat anything I want now. So, but I'll give you a couple of lists of some of the things
Yeah.
that I did. Right now we're in autumn and seasonal vegetables. This injury happened in the summer, just approaching late summer. So it was the 13th of August. And so came out of it right as late summer was beginning, I'd say. And so I kind of been going with those late summer. I've always been liking those late summer foods, but they all came up. So things like leafy greens, making sure that I have a solid source of iron, and which is really good. We need iron in our system because iron's electrons attract oxygen molecules. And that's how we transport all of our oxygen to every cell in our body, which is so cool. So good iron, that means leafy greens, and of course I had beets and beet greens. I like them both, so I eat them all. I eat them all,
Great.
and beet greens. And I know you might have a little thought on this one too, Matt. But beet. Anyway, I also did Swiss chard, and Swiss chard and beets are in the same family group for sure. So things like short grain brown rice. That's I love that. Love my favorite rice of all time. And so that's pretty much mushrooms, seasonal fruits. That includes blueberries. That includes, well, I eat blueberries all year round. It's one of my
Me
favorite
too.
antioxidants. It's pretty good. It just I think we'll have those antioxidants are really important. It's so funny. We need oxygen, yet we need an antioxidant. Isn't that kind of wild? So oxygen is cool, but it rips things apart. So we need to make sure that it's moving and being transformed smoothly and easily. So it's great to have that flow between iron and antioxidant going smoothly. Let's see, Swiss
Absolutely.
chard, beet leaves, beets, Chinese broccoli, carrots, squashes, ginger, garlic, onions, blueberries, lemons. And of course, through all those things, I love preparing those foods, and I usually steam most of my foods, or either steam or really slow cook, like for a nice simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes. And that usually is enough just to give a good blanch, and the veggies just get that nice soft, to the tooth kind of feel, or al dente kind of feel. The texture is really nice, and you can just feel that the burst of life that's coming out of that. And I love that feeling. And above all, chew your food. Chew it to
Thank you.
sauce. I'm a big proponent of that, but it's not about chewing your food. It's like what they say in macrobiotic classes is enjoy your food. And part of enjoying your food is just chewing it more. I love chewing it to sauce. Like, wow, look what this is doing. And when we chew it more, we actually get more life out of it and make it more efficient, so that when it finally hits our stomach and small intestine and then large intestine for elimination, we get that nourishment. It's like again, I mentioned this in the past, but it's like you don't throw hunks of coal in your gas tank. You throw in gasoline, and there's things called injectors that atomize it in a spray, and it makes for a very efficient and helps your vehicle hopefully get over 30 miles per gallon. But coming back to the body, it's a much more complex and miraculous uh, piece of engineering that's what really helps distribute that energy everywhere. There's 50 trillion cells in our body, all doing 2,000 things a second. So we would like to have them as getting all that nourishment as efficiently as possible, and also the elimination as efficiently as possible. So that's pretty much what I've been eating,
You
and
know,
I've been staying close to that regime because those foods were all becoming available as I kind of got into this. So there you go.
I loved your analogy about the car and the fuel that you put in, because it's true. I mean, if we look at ourselves as a premium sports car, we aren't going to be wanting to put bad things as fuel into that car. We're going to want to run on premium fuel, and that's what we certainly run on here. You're right. I did have a couple of comments about, you mentioned beets and so forth. And I know that they'll be coming to Canada hopefully sometime soon, but we do have our incredible,
Looking forward.
our ERB beetroot powder,
Mushrooms too. Mushrooms too.
mushroom too. Absolutely. The cordyceps and the
Of
enterococcus,
course.
all that stuff will
Yeah.
be coming to you as
Looking.
well. And Tim, one of the things that you and I haven't talked about, but Judy, another person in our 5 element team, of course, and we did a call yesterday on the benefits of nitric oxide for the body. And when you look at nitric oxide, again, it comes from leafy greens, beets, those kind of things. So, and high
Ah,
in antioxidant foods. So again, we're definitely on the right track with all of this. And thank you for sharing the way you do. And for, again, your reminder once again about slowing down, enjoying your food, and actually chewing to the point of enjoyment. So thank you so much
yes,
for
that
that.
you nailed it. That's the perfect paraphrase, Mac. Thank you, buddy.
Absolutely. Hey, man, we've talked a little bit about the table foods, and of course, we need to bring Sunrider into the equation here a little bit too. And I know that you have not forsaken your Sunrider foods and Sunrider diet at all during this period of
Definitely.
time. So, can you just tell us briefly, if you can, what you've been
Okay,
eating
I'll
on the Sunrider side of things?
But first and foremost, again, Sunrider always follows the philosophy of regeneration, and that helps your mindset immediately. It's like, oh, right, how you regenerate, and it
Yeah.
doesn't matter what age you are. It's good stuff happens. Like my knee was questionable too, and that's you come around being 100% from being kind of swollen. It's just anyway, that's so good.
Uh-huh.
Sunrider. So, and of course, I got all the information about any foods that I wanted to get or that I thought I might need from just going through the grapevine, and there's everywhere from Dr. Karen Dees to even Bob and Donna's meetings, because they always bring somebody. There's always somebody there, so I was able to find specifically what I wanted. I kind of had an idea, but I got some confirmation from some people.
Mhm.
So the philosophy of regeneration, and if you plug into Sunrider, I mean, you got Sunfit 321, you have all kinds of places where either nutritionally or physically or even emotionally to drop into Sunrider. So it's great. The support, and of course, everybody, just the group. It doesn't matter. You just to get together with a group of Sunriders, and you're already ahead of the game just from doing that.
Yeah,
So I'm going to give you a list of a little bit of a recipe of what I consumed.
please.
Vitadophilus, of course, first and foremost. And again, before I did anything, first thing in the morning was a 750 ml glass of water, big old glass of water that went down. Then that was followed by, and not all at once, a little bit here, a little bit there. Vitadophilus, of course, and then next came Quinary, and then a new plus or protein plus, which I've been enjoying the pumpkin spice. That has been a
Yeah, me
thrill.
too.
Looking forward
Mhm.
for that chalky mint. I think that's going to be the next one on my list.
Yeah, yeah.
And the big one that I wanted was sport caps. Unfortunately, they didn't have any Siberian ginseng. I wanted some of that also, but there's already Siberian ginseng in the sport cap. So
Yes, there
it's,
is.
and in a really, I just wanted to give it a bit of a boost. And of course, Cali and Fortune Delights. Um, and through the day, water in equal amounts of all that fluid that
Mhm.
you're going to be consuming. And one more fluid, Vitafruit. Love Vitafruit. That is just the regeneration, and you can just feel the difference immediately. And a couple of Caltabs, one in the morning, one in the evening. No Meta Booster because it wasn't available at the time, so I would have had a little of that too. But that was pretty much it. And I had that through the day till usually my breakfast is to break fast is around between 5:30 ish, and that's when I start cooking. And it's making my mouth water. I'm thinking about what's for dinner tonight already. What can I
Getting close
say?
to that time,
But
right?
yeah, but up to that point, I have complete nutritional support. And when I go to play tennis, I feel like I'm an animal. For the poor guy. And I play with a bunch of guys. Every guy's injured there, right? Which is pretty, on some level. They're starting to really move a little slow, but I like running around and getting the balls and chasing the balls down as fast as I can. I enjoy that, and it's half my workout. Chasing balls is part of your workout.
Hey, it is absolutely.
I'm not careful with
Well,
that. Tennis balls, tennis ball.
I
Uh,
understood exactly what you were talking about.
yes, he did. Okay, there you go. Thanks for the relief
Hey,
and the
Tim,
comic.
those are, what a great regimen of Sunrider foods to be incorporating for your recovery and just your daily balance and
Oh,
so forth. No
heavenly.
question. And I think pretty much all of us are there in terms of the NBCs and in what we do on a daily basis with Sunrider. It is interesting though. I mean, you mentioned sports caps, and you're absolutely right. I mean, that is a product that is very high in antioxidant and has, driven by things like the bee pollen. And you mentioned the Siberian ginseng, which is I know can't remember if you have it in Canada. In the US, it's our Siwujia, okay, is what it is. It's a single.
Right.
So again, that's another incredible one that's in this product. And, if we start looking at high antioxidant products for Sunrider, we don't have to look very far. I mean, you're already incorporating a number of them in there. And again, what Judy and I are suggesting that everybody looks very closely at MetaBooster, mainly because the main ingredient is L-arginine, which turns into nitric oxide in the body. Okay. Other
Well, it
ones,
should be.
absolutely. Other things are like Metashaper, very high in resveratrol, which is a big antioxidant that people are
Oh
familiar
yeah.
with these days. Vitafruit you mentioned. I mean, again, the list goes on and on. So folks, if you're looking for foods that will really help you regenerate, high in antioxidant quality, etc., look no further. Absolutely. Well, Tim, again, we've talked about what you've gone through in terms of your recovery, the things that you're doing in terms of exercise and support. We've talked about some of the foods. How do you see this affecting you moving forward?
I think one of the big things that's been the most helpful is to help me to have a vision of what's coming instead of just kind of, I mean, you're always dealing with right now, but it helped me to kind of jump ahead like I do in sports. Like in tennis, you have to be ready before the ball gets there. And when you're skiing, you got to be skiing 10 bumps ahead before you get there. And it's helped me kind of look ahead as to what I want to be doing to make sure that I can fulfill these ideas and the things I still want to create with my physical self and share it with people because I love having that adventure of while I'm being here and seeing what the limits are of what this body are. At 63 right now, I'm feeling better than I thought I was. When I remember being 20 and going, geez, when I'm 63, I'm going to be hurting so bad. Well, I'm feeling actually better than I was at 23 right now. To be honest, I had more pain. I was carrying more weight and all those kinds of things. So it's been a vision for the future, confidence going forward. It's improved my attitude, thinking I can't just kind of eliminate it out of my vocabulary, and even if it's a slow process to getting to where I can chip away at it and get closer to making that a fulfillment of I did, and that feels pretty good. And this is living proof of that. It continues to go on. I just wanted to kind of end my little perspective from a quote from Richard Buckminster Fuller, and he's the man who's responsible for the geometry and the math behind the geodesic dome. And he wanted to help humanity in the best way he can. And what we're all doing as Sunriders here is we're all helping one another do the best we can so that we can move forward, have a fulfilling, joyful, helpful, and adventurous, even spiritual blessing of a life, the greatest gift in the universe. Without it, nothing happens. And here's this little quote, and it help me to think about yin and yang and balance because I always kind of favored the light, just
Mhm.
can't, just saying. And he basically stated, the force of radiation or the light always casts a shadow, but love and gravity do not.
Mhm.
I
Interesting.
love that. It's
Yeah.
like they're designed to be together. It's like the light helps the dark and the dark helps the light. And that's what Sunrider is and has defined that ever since I've been with them. And I'm just happy as a clam, many clams, to be to
Yeah.
be with you right now, Mac, talking about one of the greatest companies on planet Earth, I think, to help us all help ourselves
Right
be
there.
the creators we're all supposed to be here.
Absolutely. Tim, thank you. I mean, again, as you and I have talked about many times, I mean, we talk about the future and so forth, but really it's up to us to create that right now. And, to your point of looking 10 moguls down the hill or whatever, waiting for that ball to arrive and seeing it coming. I mean, all of that is really important. And again, where are we all headed with everything we're doing? It's all about regeneration of ourselves, our body, our mind,
Always,
spirit, our
first and
emotions,
foremost.
etc. And again, I just want to thank you so much for sharing with us your story and what you've been going through over the last few weeks here with your shoulder. And again, so happy to hear that your recovery is well underway and you haven't had to go through surgery, which is just spectacular. So
And
wonderful
it's
there. And I just want to remind everybody again that we'll be posting a lot around all of the topics we're sharing this month to our 5 Element Cycle to Wellness page. So if you're not on that page already, please let us know and we'll get you an invitation. And again, I just want to remind everybody again that if you have more if you want more knowledge on this information or anything that we've spoken about today, reach out to your upline, reach out to us. Be more than happy to share with you about this topic and anything that we talk about during these seasonal conversations of ours. So, Tim, again, let me thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. And until the next call, let's say goodbye to everybody, and we'll hopefully see
All right,
you
everybody. My
real
pleasure, Mac.
soon.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks so
Bye
much.
now.